thank you. I'm all right. Yeah, your house is looking very bright and lovely.
I know, it's very white and light, which is what I love about it. But I love your vibe as well. Is that your studio?
Yeah, I've got a little studio up here.
Cool.
I got the microphones here. That's why I was just wondering if it sounded all right. So.
No, it's absolutely perfect. So we like to start off with breaking the ice, basically. What is your go-to morning drink? How do you like to start the day?
A black coffee every morning.
Yeah.
Go and get a cafetiere, put the coffee in, take it into the bedroom, and push it down, and then have a cup of coffee in bed.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
I know. Well, I mean, it's like my new thing in modern this time that we're in right now. So.
Yeah. I guess we've all kind of come up with new routines, haven't we?
Yeah. That one I'm gonna try and keep.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. I might give it a go as well. So I want to go back to kind of the beginning, and I want to ask you about X Factor, which obviously I'm sure you get asked about all the time. But it was about 8 years ago now, and you were 20 years old when you auditioned, right?
Yes. So I think I was actually 19 when I auditioned and 20 when it aired.
That's crazy. So I mean, it's mind-boggling to me, because to have that much courage as a 19-year-old to get up on a stage, you know, in front of about 4,000 people and judges that you respect, where did you get the courage and the sort of instinct to get up there and just rock it? Because you totally just rocked it, knocked it out of the park.
I think courage is a funny word, because I was just like blind confidence at that point. I'd been playing for a long time, so I'd done a lot of playing live, a lot of shows, and to me it was just another opportunity to perform. So I just took it as that. When I did that audition, I just thought, I don't think it'll go anywhere, but at least, you know, I might get a few more Facebook likes or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So it was almost like a innocence, you know, in a way, naivety almost.
Well, I just had no idea that would happen, like not a clue.
And then it completely changed your life, yeah?
Yeah, overnight.
I find your music incredibly touching, and Tea and Toast made me cry. I watched your X Factor performance at that, and I was sitting here droozing. It's beautiful. Your writing is absolutely just extremely touching. So what is your songwriting process like?
Well, I find it can come from anywhere, really. It can start with a melody or an idea, or a lyric that I'll get. So yesterday I wrote a song. I've been writing loads, but I wrote a song. I do a lot of working out, and I work out to the Bollywood playlist on Spotify.
Cool.
And I was like, this music has such a vibe to it, like stuff that sort of Western music doesn't have, this energy. So I wrote a song inspired by a Bollywood workout soundtrack yesterday. So really, it just comes from anywhere. Yeah.
Well, I did have a little stalk on Instagram, and I did got to hear some of the tunes that you're working on, and it sounds incredible.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, they all come from different bits, really.
Yeah. Is that the music that you're going to be hopefully touring in autumn?
Yes. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Put more in perspective, but yeah, that'll be the stuff that's out there.
As a creator, so I'm also creative. I find it really hard when I'm creating content, especially, to not let my sort of perfectionist mind take over. How do you know when a song has reached its sweet spot and is ready? Because one can always tweak and improve and make it better, and because that's what we do as creators. So how do you know when it's reached that point?
I think I'm really lucky, because I'm a perfectionist in a lot of things, and I'm very competitive, but actually when it comes to music, I don't feel like that as much. I feel it's really natural. So I'm also lucky in the way that I'll write a song in an hour or a couple of hours.
Oh, wow.
I don't tend to stick with something for ages. I'll be like, right, here we go. I'm writing this, and it's done. And then I'll take it away and I'll have a listen to it. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I think I'll change this, or I'll change that. But I don't freak out too much about it, and I sit with it for a while. I think that's the key for me.
And it's all just, I suppose, a bit of gut instinct as well, right?
Yeah. And honestly, if you're making something that's got integrity, or it's really honest, then when you're making it, you put just complete honesty into it, then most of the time you're not going to want to alter it because it's genuine, if you know what I mean.
And I think from just a bit of research that I've done, it seems that you're also taking a swing towards positivity and writing, you know, music that's extremely positive and uplifting. So how has your music transitioned from when you started on X Factor to now and this new album that you're going to be putting out?
Well, this is my 6th album, and I'd say around album number 4, the music started taking that more positive turn. So my very first album was super positive.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went through a personal time of not being very positive, and that reflected in my music. And then I sort of found that again at that point. And now, yeah, this album is about like pure defiance. It's like get back up and just do what you've got to do, because there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. I can't wait to hear it, really. I'm excited for it. So I want to talk about your weight loss journey, because to me, I mean, that's extremely like positive, and all of us want to know these things. I mean, you know, it's just super interesting. So in an interview you did about a year ago, you mentioned that after X Factor, you were approached by labels, or you were trying to get in with labels, and they wanted you to change your image, and they wanted you to lose a bit of weight. And obviously you stuck to your guns and you kind of didn't go for that. But now with your own choice, you have decided to go on this incredible fitness journey. So I guess my question to you is, how did you get to this point of being so physically disciplined that you've been able to push your mind and your body to reach new heights and achieve, you know, new goals?
It's funny because I've never had any like discipline in my life whatsoever. I've always just eaten whatever, done whatever. I didn't have much discipline growing up because I've got such a problem with discipline. I've got problems with authority, you know, whether that's a label or whether it was teachers and I got sober 9 months ago, and that is the most sort of like disciplined thing I've ever done with myself. Becoming sober, enforcing that discipline taught me so much about all areas of life, that my issue is with moderation. So I have to really actively moderate myself, like in all walks of life. So
interesting.
Taking away alcohol and dealing with the challenges of that, I was like, well, actually, it's the same with food, and it's the same with exercise. Like, you might want to drink, but you don't drink. And you might want to eat more, but you don't. And you might not want to exercise, but you do. So it's like, it's about, by taking away something that had been present throughout my whole life and incredibly toxic, it opened up this whole new life of discipline.
Interesting. And it's a mental game, isn't it? All of this is what you're doing in here. Yeah.
100%. And I feel like a lot of the time, physically, whether that's like the confidence that you exude or whether it's your physical appearance, like that's a reflection of your mental well-being.
Totally.
And mine at the moment, you know, like my physique has changed a lot, and so has my brain, and I feel like the two correlate pretty well.
Isn't it a pretty epic thing when you start to notice changes in your body? It's such a motivating factor. Doesn't it make you feel like you can conquer the world, you know? You
100%.
just keep going.
And this is the thing. Like, I love running. Like, if you told me a year ago I'd be a runner, I'd have been like, no, I'm not. But I love running. And the other day I ran like 11.1 miles, which is just 2 miles short of a half marathon.
Yep.
And
wow, I don't know how you do that.
You just run, and you just got to go. And the idea of being able to run. So one of my favorite books is what's it called? Running Club for the End of the World. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
And it's about the apocalypse, and the only way they can stay alive is really by running to where they need to go to. And I love the idea of like, actually, I'm fit now, and I can run somewhere if I need to, or I just feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
Because of that. And And what you said about noticing differences is so funny, because I've got pictures of me from October where like I was taking a selfie thinking, I think I'm getting abs. And like I look at the picture now and there's no abs there whatsoever, but I could see them. And now
if you could, I mean, look, it happened, right? If you believe it, it's possible.
That's it. That's the slogan, because if you do believe in something, it's absolutely possible.
Exactly, with anything in life, if you believe it, doesn't matter who else does, if you do, it's possible. And it's possible to change your life around, which you have, which is phenomenal. And so I guess let's talk about mental health, because that's obviously something that, you know, you've struggled with, and I think a lot of people are going through it. I know you've sort of touched on it, but how have you gotten to this place of real like self-acceptance and love?
I think it's from like learning who you actually are, taking away all of the things that you think assist you, like alcohol. Like when people say I'm my real self when I'm drunk, it's like you're not. You take something else on board and you feel like you can be more honest, but actually your most honest self is when you're not drunk and you're just being honest. And for me it was just about being like this learning about who I am. Like this time last year I had no idea who I was. I was like codependent. I've always relied on other people. I've always needed people to validate me. And I stopped needing something else every time, like whether that is booze or food or people, and sit down with myself and be like, this is who I am, and this is who I want to be. And I'm getting closer and closer to the person I want to be every day.
So moral of the story is really just get to know you and be okay with you.
Yeah. Because if you're not okay with you, you're always going to need that thing.
Yeah.
You're always going to need that crutch. And until you can get rid of that and walk freely, like you don't really know yourself. And that's what I realized.
Any workout tips during lockdown? Like I know we might be coming to an end, but I think real life is going to take a while to resume. So any workout tips? What have you been doing to keep fit?
Is that a little pull-up bar behind you?
It is actually, yeah. It's in our kitchen.
I like it.
I'm into gym. This is why I'm also like fascinated by this, because I'm also a big workout.
Sweet. Well, I'm a big runner, so I always say to everybody, like, running is the one, because it does every single part of your body, and your cardiovascular health is, honestly, if you run, all the other fitness is just so much easier, because you get that cardio in. I love running because it's just you. You can make running about being in a race or trying to beat somebody else's time, or you can make running about like this and getting your pace, and that's what I do. And the fitness tips is like, I don't know if you see on Instagram, somebody commented saying, this is a few weeks ago, they commented saying, discipline over motivation. And I was like, absolutely that. Like some days you're like, I can't be bothered to do this. And you have to be like, but you are gonna do it.
But you can do it.
And that's all you have to tell yourself. It's not like, where do I muster the like urge to run this? It's like, you don't need to. You just need to do it. Like,
it's a decision.
And it's just you saying, right, I don't need to know why. I'm just gonna do. And then afterwards, like, motivation comes after. For me, sometimes I finish my 10k, I finish the 18k and go, that was insane, that was so much fun. Or like do a couple of hours of Olympic weightlifting in the garden afterwards, feel completely like pumped.
You take over the world.
And you're like, God, I'm so strong, and I can do anything.
It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. 3 lessons that you have learned about yourself you're going to take into the real world from this isolation lockdown experience.
That I love tomahawk steak. That's one.
Okay. Okay.
My local butcher sells these like steaks bigger than my head with a big bone in them.
Oh.
I eat the steak and then the dog eats the bone. So I've decided.
So 2 for 1, basically.
Exactly. From now on, I'm going to eat a tomahawk steak like every couple of weeks. I really enjoy like spending time on my own, which I didn't realize.
Cool.
I really like get a thrill out of that. And the third is to like focus more on being creative. That's 3 things I've learned. My third is that I do need to sit down and actually focus on stuff, and I can be as creative as I want to be if I just apply myself a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Love all of those. Great answer. Put you on the spot there. It's a great answer. Quickly tell us a little bit about your new music, and I guess what we can expect from the rest of 2020, if you kind of have an idea of where you can go with it.
Well, a new album is out in October, and it's very different. It's way more mature. My first single that's out in July is Sexy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which is just like a completely different premise for me. It's sort of about meeting somebody in a club like atmosphere, and it's cool. It's very different sound. I'll be touring that in the autumn, starting with Australia in September.
Cool, nice.
The UK, USA, and Europe.
Sure. So you just go all over the place.
Yeah, pretty much, but not South Africa thus far.
Have you ever been to South Africa?
No, I need to go.
Oh, I think you would love Cape Town, so that's where I'm from. I think you would absolutely love it, and I reckon people would love your music.
Oh man, I gotta go.
The right sound, you know.
Awesome.
You got to do it. If you could break the ice, meaning have a coffee or a smoothie or whatever with anyone, past or present, who would it be and why?
I think it would be Don McLean, who is the singer-songwriter who wrote American Pie. His album Tapestry is one of my favourites ever. He also, from what I gather from his music, wrote a lot about depression and anxiety in a time when nobody really wrote about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's just my sort of all-time great songwriter, so that's who I would break the ice with. Awesome.
Cool. Lucy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
What a great chat. And I'm going to be following along. So following your career, and I have no doubt that you're going to absolutely fly in every area. So
thank you very much. I hope you have a lovely weekend.
You too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more inspirational videos just like this, then don't forget to subscribe, which you can do by clicking right over here. Also, leave us a comment in the section below and tell us who you guys would like us to break the ice with next.